Hello and welcome back to the Tea and Soju Cdrama Podcast, your drama hangout for all things C-drama. I'm your host, Liliana, so grab your tea, pour your soju, and let's chat dramas. In today's episode, we are going to be reviewing the Chinese drama The Bad Kids with Caitlin. But first, a little housekeeping. If you're enjoying the podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on the platform you're listening on. It really helps Tea and Soju reach more drama fans. For extra content, check out Patreon, where you'll find behind the scenes content, first impressions, Zoom meetups, and more. And if you'd like to chat with me or join the community, come find me on Discord, Instagram, and the socials. Everything is linked in the episode notes. So, Caitlin, how have you been? What have you been watching? What's happening?
I've been okay. It's summer now here. Well, it's going to be summer. It's still somewhat springish summer where we get a lot of rain, but the temperatures are 90s,
Nice.
80s.
Yeah.
It's nice. Um, but yeah, it's been good. I'm moving in like a month, so that's taken up a lot of my time trying to figure out all the logistics of that. I hate moving so much.
Moving's the worst. Like, moving's
Yeah.
probably one of the worst parts of adulting.
Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
were not told. You know, when you're young and you're like, I just want to be an adult. I just want to grow up. But then you get to a grow up and it's like, this is a scam. This is a
Right.
scam.
For sure.
Yeah. Moving feels like one of those things.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I'm excited to do it because it's a new neighborhood.
Hmm.
Definitely paying less money than what I do now. That's the main reason why I'm moving. Like if it was still the same price, I would not be moving. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
definitely saving money moving. Um, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I will be glad once it's done. We'll just say that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but it's
What
also
have
Pride
you?
Month, so we have some events and things we're going on. But yeah, it's an eventful time.
It
Summer,
is
yeah,
busy time. I feel like it'll be busy, even busier than May for you, and May tends to
yeah,
be one of your
for sure.
busiest months.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Yes, for sure. But yeah, yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Mm.
So,
What have you been
watching
watching?
wise, obviously I rewatched The Bad Kids for this. That's what I did
Hmm.
this week. I also started Teach You a Lesson, the K-drama that
How are you
came out
finding
a
it?
couple weeks ago. I like it. I think if you were a fan of Study Group, you definitely
I
will be a
really
fan of
was.
this.
Oh,
You
okay.
Yeah,
That's
definitely be a fan of
interesting.
this. It's still just as violent, but what I wasn't expecting, it does still has the humor of Study Group. There is some really
Hmm.
funny parts in it. It definitely has a more tragic background than Study Group
Okay.
with the whole motive of the main lead. Um but I could see why it's supposedly set in the same universe.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if you
Hmm.
like Study Group, you would like it. It's less violent and less dramatic than Weak Hero, but I think if you like Weak Hero as well, you would definitely like it too.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll
so
have.
that's for sure.
Maybe I'll queue it up to watch with my partner because he
You
really
should, yeah.
liked. We both watched Study Group together and we really liked
Hmm.
it. So maybe that's. I did hear that it was having like a couple of, uh, I don't know, couple of problems in career because
Controversies.
teachers weren't. So I
Yeah,
was like,
it's
is it going to get pulled? Is it? I don't
yeah.
know. That's why I
Yeah,
think I
the
was more
thing
hesitant.
it's the source material is problematic, which I agree. It's about an organization that was created to beat up kids because they got out of control and the teacher has no authority in the
Yeah.
classroom anymore and everything. So the source material already had this and was already problematic to the people reading it. And then when Netflix announced that it was going to be made, like the equivalent of what I hear is like a teachers union tried to
Hmm.
not have the drama made because
Yeah.
it does paint, at least in the first couple episodes I've seen. I know this is not the case further on, but it does paint the teachers as like they have no power in this classroom
Mm-hmm.
and are taken over by just horrible, horrible kids. And this organization has to come in and kind of straighten up the kids.
Yeah.
So I get why they might want to pull it because it obviously paints the teachers in a bad light. But I think the messaging behind the motive and some of the dialogue that the main male lead has is really good. And there's some really good messages that they try to teach people on the other side
Mm.
of the episodes. And it's like an episodic thing. Like they go into one school on one episode, they leave the school on that episode. They go into another school. And maybe later on, because it's 10 episodes, they might do 2 episodes of school. But for
Yeah, yeah,
now, it's
yeah.
like one episode of school.
See, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. Maybe I'll have to press. And I didn't realize this, but it's fully out. So it's
Yep.
all,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all the episodes are on Netflix. So I might have
Right.
to finish up. We're finishing up Wonderfuls, and then
Mhm.
we might have to have this as our next
If you like
sort of
Taxi Driver,
watch.
you probably will like this too.
Yeah, he really loves
Yeah.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah. I would say
That's
Taxi
one of
Driver
his
is more
favorites.
violent than this one. Like
Really?
there's still some really, really hard to watch fight scenes. But
Hmm.
as of right now, like Taxi Driver tackles everything from sexual assault to everything. As of right now, 2 episodes in, they have not had sexual assault stuff. I'm
Oh,
not saying that doesn't appear,
doesn't happen. Yeah, 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 yeah.
but yeah, I mean, there's like obviously trigger warning for suicide and like just things you find in a high school K drama most of the time.
Mm,
Bullying, of course. But yeah, I was not expecting the humor. The humor is actually really funny.
okay,
Um,
okay, that's good to know. I'll
so
definitely have to try it. What else are you watching?
right now I started due to me doing my watch list this weekend. I started a couple things. So I finally started Under the Skin season 2, which I've been
Hmm.
trying to start since January. So I watched the first episode of that
How are you
last night.
finding it so far?
I like it so far.
Okay.
I like I like revisiting everything again.
Mm.
Um, and then I also started my first GL. I've never had
Oh my
watched
God,
a
I've
GL
never. Do you know
before.
what? I don't think I have either. I don't
Mm-mm.
think, like, I've watched a lot of BL dramas, but I don't think I've ever really gone into like GL territory. And I don't know
Yeah,
why. I don't know
I don't
why
either.
that's the
I don't either.
case.
Yeah, yeah. There's a
Mm.
BLK drama that's airing right now that I really want to click play on, but it's only 4 episodes in, and there's 8 episodes, and I'm like, I want to wait until it's done.
Yeah,
But
you might as well at that point.
it's
Yeah.
about a cop and a contract killer who start living together. And
Oh,
I'm
that
like,
sounds
I
like
need
a
to
lot
check
of
this out.
fun.
It's
What's
on
it
Vicky.
called?
Oh man, it is called The Way We Live or something like that, I think.
Let
Something
me
like
go
that.
look it up. The Way We Live. Let me put it. No, that's from
What's
2009.
Vicky coming?
That's not it.
Hold on, where's the
Uh,
Vicky coming soon?
the lie. No, that can't be. Oh yeah, yeah.
The
The
lie
lie
we
we
yeah,
live. The
the
lie we
lie we
lived
lived in.
in. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that sounds like a fun thing, and it's really short as well. 8 episodes of 25
yeah.
minutes. I'm
Right. Which is
intrigued.
why I'm waiting to binge it.
Yeah, I'm adding that to my plan to watch because I am not gonna be. Yeah, no. I hate like it's so short. There's no
Right.
point. So definitely, she says that, and then watch me just randomly start it, and then be like, oh, now I just have to wait for 20, 25 minutes a week type of
Right.
situation rather than anything else. Oh,
Yeah. So I
uh,
have that on my radar. I want to start, but
mm-hmm.
and then the last one
Yeah.
well, the GL I started was Petrichor from it's a Thai GL from last year. It's
Mm.
about a cop and a forensics examiner who uh team up and start a relationship and yeah.
Oh, interesting. I just have not gotten into GL, and I don't know why, because they're widely available, so I don't know
Right.
why I haven't, but maybe I'll need to eventually try that. As for myself, I have just been in the first Jasmine world, very much
Hmm.
so. At the point of recording, there's 10 episodes out. Well, there's today's episode, so there is, I'm guessing, 12 episodes out right now. So I am loving it. Like from the get-go, I like this show, which is great. Just because everybody is very much morally gray, even the female lead, and the female lead is dealing with like hallucinations and stuff,
Yeah,
and
I
you
read somewhere
don't.
she might be schizophrenic.
Well, see, I don't think that's quite the case. I
Okay.
wouldn't go that far. I just think she she sees dead people.
Oh,
So
okay.
she sees,
Cool.
and specifically she sees her dead mate, let's put it that way.
Got it. Okay.
Um So that's where that sort of comes from. Because at this point, I don't know, but something traumatic must have happened to her. We don't know what it is. And we don't know a lot of the story actually for any of these characters. But I am very much here for it. And I'm really, really, really enjoying it. What else am I watching? Let me bring up my watch list. So I'm watching Dazzling, which I will finish this weekend, hopefully, because yes, it's fully completed, but on Vicky it wasn't. So I kind of just thought, well, I'll just wait and binge the rest of the episodes when they're fully out. So I'm excited to finish that off. The Wonderfuls is another one I'm watching. Um, Believe it or not, I'm still watching Ashes to Crown. Is it good? No. No. That's like the Chengdu Ling drama.
Yeah,
It is
I'm really
not a
surprised you're even watching that.
look. I thought I let me explain myself. I thought if I want I look, I'm a C drama podcast and I need to be fair, right?
Hmm.
And I thought,
Right.
I keep saying I really dislike Chengdu Ling. I don't think she's a good actress. I don't like her dramas, blah, 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 blah. But realistically speaking, I had only really watched her until the end of the moon. And that was very early on in her career. And I was like, look, it's been 3 years at this point, 3, 4 years since still the end of the moon. Let me give this girl a fair shot and kind of try and go in and watch something else. And all I keep saying is, if this is all she's improved in 3 years, then the talent is lacking. The talent
Right.
is lacking. And
Hmm.
funnily enough, I was having a conversation with a couple of friends, and they said, Ashes to Crown. Oh, how did she put it? She said something about it's a. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to bring up the conversation just because it was hilarious and I think it described it perfectly. So I'm just gonna bring it up. Let me bring up the conversation I was having with her, and she basically said, where is it, oh, she said it's a vertical drama in a Gucci belt. And I was like, that is the perfect description for it because
Right.
it's not. I mean, it's only 24 episodes
Right.
and that's why I also went in because I was like, if I'm gonna give Chenduling a chance, I might as well do it on a drama that's only 24 episodes. The
Right.
drama itself is just not that good, and then the acting is just not that good either. So
Mm.
I do it as like a background watch at this point. I just have it
Right.
as a background watch. But yeah, that's what I'm watching. I'm also watching the Thai drama Woo. I don't know if you've
I've heard
heard.
of that. Yeah.
It's
Do you
really
like
fun.
it?
It's yes, it's really
Nice.
interesting.
It's on my
Um,
radar. I want to watch it.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. It's quite different to like what I've watched, and I really like the male leads. Um, And it is two male leads, but it's not a BL. It's like a bromance,
Mm,
but it's not BL. So
right.
it's very much supernatural friendship type thing, and I'm having a blast with it. It's only like it's only has 6 episodes now. It's gonna be 9, and
Oh,
it's one of those. It's like Thai dramas. It's an episode a week. It's
right.
drives me bonkers, but yeah, I am still enjoying it. But yeah, that's what I'm currently watching right now. Right, shall we get into this review? What we're actually here for today,
Sure.
and that is to review the Chinese drama, The Bad Kids. Now, I went on the MDL and got their, you know, what's the word? Their synopsis. And it's very short, actually. And I think that's kind of
Mm,
like what you need because when it comes to crime dramas, you don't necessarily want long dramas anyways, like long synopsis
right.
anyways, because you kind of do want to keep everything as short as possible. You don't want to be spoiled by what's going to happen. I hate it when they give you spoilers in
Yeah.
synopsis, especially if it's a crime
Yeah.
drama. That would be horrendous. So,
Right.
the MDL synopsis reads a story that follows three children from a coastal town who unintentionally film a murder scene. As the kids become involved with the suspect, it opens up a case that is far more complicated than it looks and entraps several families into an unpredictable outcome. Now, this is adapted from the novel The Gone Child by Zi Jin Chen. This is also known, another title is Cat's Cradle. That's why it was really interesting actually, because when you watch it on iQIYI, it tells you, like, it doesn't translate the title as The Bad Kids. It tells you, like,
Right.
Cat's Cradle. And at first I thought, oh, that's probably the episode title, but it's not, because then it says, oh, episode 1 and then the episode title. So Cat's Cradle is just another name for it. And I'm not going to lie, I like the Bad Kids title, but Cat's Cradle just sounds,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you know what cat's cradle is?
No. What does it have, like,
Okay,
a
so
meaning?
yeah, well, at least I'll tell you what I think Cat's Cradle is. Cat's Cradle is an old childhood game with a string. So you do like I used to play this as a kid. So you have like a
Mhm.
string, you put it between your hands, you make like shapes, and then the person playing with you has to get the thing off of your hand. So
Oh, no, no,
it's
no.
like
I do know this game. I just
yeah,
never knew that's what it was called.
right. That's what we call it. That's what we call the game here is cat's cradle. So you like make different shapes and the other person is trying to get them onto their hand. Like they take the string off and be it on your hand. Yeah.
Oh, see? That is very, very interesting. And actually, it works really well with the drama, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
what
Yeah. And
happens
like
in
it,
the
I know we
drama.
use it in terms of like a description word of like people encountering like, oh wow, that's a cat's cradle. That's a lot. That's a sticky situation you're in. That's a
Hmm, hmm.
complicated situation.
Oh, okay. Okay. See, that makes way more sense. And
Mhm.
actually, it suits the drama even more now that you've sort of
Right.
explained that. I do know that game, but obviously, like, I grew up in Portugal when,
Yeah. You
I
probably didn't
like,
name it cat's cradle.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. We definitely have a. I don't even think we really have a name for it back home. So I guess that's probably why I never really knew about it. So,
Mm,
this was filmed for about 75 days from June to September 2019. It aired from the 16th of June 2020 to the 25th of June 2020. It is 12 episodes, and I put down a 45 minutes, but that's not the case because episode lengths in
correct.
this are all over the place. Some episodes are like
Hmm.
50 minutes, some are like 35 minutes. So,
Yeah.
they're a little bit all spread.
They
And then you
did the
have,
same thing that the longest day in Chang'an did. They tried to split it where like it would naturally split when it came to either a cliffhanger or the story just coming to a
yes.
close on a certain point.
Yeah, and I think that really suits whenever it's a crime drama. I'd much rather them
Yeah.
do that than specifically do, oh, it's 45 minutes, we've got to break it here. No, I just think so. It doesn't really bother me that it's, all over the place in terms of episode lengths. So yeah.
Right.
So
I
this
think the
is,
longest is a hour and 10 minutes, and that was like the
yeah,
last
there,
episode or something. Maybe the
no,
second
the
to last
last one, the
episode.
last one's 39 minutes.
Oh,
But
maybe it's the
there's
second to
one
last
like
one.
in the middle. There's one in the middle that is like 1 hour something. I feel like
Yeah.
there is one in the middle that is like 1 hour something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So this is part of the Aichi Light On series, and it currently holds a My Drama List score of 8.5 and a Douban score of 8.8. So this is a very rare thing to happen when
Mhm.
Douban scores something higher than an MDL score. And that is just because these types of shows always hit home way better than they do internationally. Not that it's not well received internationally, um,
Right.
but yeah. I think also when it comes to shows like this that are set in a specific time, it's kind of nostalgic for people to watch it as well, isn't it? So
Right.
I
Mhm.
suppose it comes from that. So this has won actually a bunch of awards when it came out. So it had in 2020 it was named Drama of the Year at the Weibo Night. It was also at Golden Bud from 2020, the fifth Network Film and Television Festival. It was named Influential Web Series of the Year, and then at the 2020 ninth Aichi All-Star Carnival, it was also named Drama of the Year. And then again, 2020 7th Hengdian Film and TV Festival of China, the Wenrong Awards, it won Best Television Series. So it is a well accolated drama. It is touted arguably as one of the best crime dramas out of China. I would definitely side with that statement personally. It's probably one of the best ones that I have um watched. It's very twisty turny, very, that type of drama. So, as for director, this is directed by Shuang Chin. He's also known as Bob Shin, but he's only done like I even looked on this guy's Douban page. He has only done
Mhm.
The Bad Kids and The Long Season. That is the only two things he has done. And if I'm not mistaken, The Long Season is like one of the highest rated things on Douban for a
Oh yeah.
very long time. If I'm not mistaken, I it's one of those that I have yet to watch.
Same.
It's a show from 2023, the long season, and it currently holds, so on MDL it scores a 8, which you're like, okay, an 8 is pretty good. But then you go over to like Douban, and I'm just gonna bring it up because I'm pretty sure it's quite high. Um on Douban. But I was shocked to see that this director has only done two things. That's it. I was like,
Right.
how is that possible? I don't because he seems like a
Yeah.
fairly good
Director.
director.
Yeah.
So
And
so
also
yeah,
with the long season, a lot of the cast in this show is also in the long season.
yeah, I did check. I did see that as well. But I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, the long season is not a crime drama. I might be
It is.
misremembering.
It's a
It is.
crime
Is it
drama.
a crime
Yeah.
drama? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I'll have to maybe um put it on oh my goodness.
The schedule.
on the schedule to watch it. So the long season currently sits at a 9.4 on Douban.
Yeah,
9.4.
it's
I
crazy.
feel like that is wild.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
Caitlin, maybe we'll have to, since we've done the bad kids, maybe we'll have to come back and
for sure.
do
I have not
uh
seen the long season, so I would not have watched it. Um, it's one
yeah,
of
so
those
we'll
where like everybody knows it exists, but internationally, not a lot of people have seen it. Versus the bad kids, that's the complete opposite, which I can get
mm-hmm.
into when we get into talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's number 4 Douban's top rated Chinese drama series. So it's like
Yeah,
that's crazy
right,
for a modern drama to have that much recognition and accolades on Douban.
right.
So yeah. We'll definitely have to put it on this because like I'm intrigued because if it's like similar cast and it's the same director. I believe, yeah, it's the same screenwriters as well. Or
Hmm.
one of the screenwriters is the same. So I'd be very, very intrigued to kind of, you know, watch watch that. As for
For sure.
screenwriters, we have Soon Hao Young, who has been doing screenwriting since 2018. So she has done things such as Judo High from 2018, Your Highness the Class Monitor from 2019, and Our Secret from 2021. And the only thing that I had watched from this screenwriter was Our Secret, which is it's like a youth drama, so it's very different to The Bad Kids. Um, have you watched anything from the screenwriter, Caitlin?
Um, I don't think so. Other than the
Mm,
bad kids. Yeah, I don't think so. I do want to watch. I have one of hers that I possibly like would like to check out, but yeah, I haven't watched any of hers. No.
yeah, I'll have to look it up. And then um the other screenwriter, so this is like a double screenwriter, is Pan Yi Ran, and she's actually been in the game for a little while. So she's been around since 2015, and she's done things such as Horrible Boss from 2015, Homesick from 2022, and she's got No Game from 2024. So that is the second screenwriter. I did watch Homesick. I think that's the only other thing that I watched out of this screenwriter, and I did really like Homesick.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's pretty much all that I have watched from, you know, this screenwriter. Have you watched anything from her?
Uh Again, I have Homesick on my plan to watch, but I have not. I have
Mm-hmm,
not watched
mm-hmm.
it. I do really want to see She's Got No Name. I've heard that's a good movie. Um
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I've only ever seen The Bad Kids from her as well.
Yeah, me too. Well, I did see Homesick. I reckon you'd like Homesick. It's
I
very much
probably
up
would, yeah.
your alley. Right. So as for cast, I'm just gonna touch on the main people. So that is the three kids,
Kids.
and I don't think this is a spoiler because it literally happens in the first episode, and
Hmm.
the killer, because you do
Right.
know this isn't a story where you're going to try and figure out who the killer is because you know
Right.
who the killer is from episode 1. So that is not the type of story this drama is about. This drama
Hmm.
is about the consequences of that specific murder and how the kids get
The
involved with
decisions. Yeah.
the killer. Yeah. And how
Right. Hmm.
decisions just spiral out of complete control of everybody.
Right.
Um so yeah. So the main male lead, so the killer, is Chin Hao, and he's been in the industry for quite a while. So he's been in the industry since 2012. For shows, but for movies, he's been in movies since 2005. So he has been
Right.
around for quite a while. He seems to do a lot more movies than he does dramas, although they're fairly even. As for dramas that he's been in things such as Tomb of the Sea from 2018, Sound of the Desert from 2014, and more recently, he's been in things such as The Long Season from 2023, A Life for a Life from 2025, which I have heard good things about A Life for a Life. It's
It's
another
okay.
crime drama. Have you watched it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Okay.
okay.
It has the
He's
same
good at
kid.
he's good in it. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good in it. The kid is good in it, but the story is eh,
just okay.
meh.
Okay. Okay.
It's just
So
okay.
not necessarily one that I need to run to
Yeah.
watch,
Yeah,
basically.
it's not what I was the reason why I say it is like I was expecting a cat and mouse type story. And it
Mm-hmm.
didn't turn out to be a cat and mouse type story. The
Okay.
cast and the acting in it is phenomenal. Story
Mm-hmm.
didn't live up to my expectations.
Okay. So as for the kids, we have Rong Zi Chan who plays Chao Young. This guy is 20 years old.
Yep.
Mind you, The Bad Kids was filmed, well, it was released in 2020, filmed in 2019, so he would have been a lot younger um when he obviously did this, so 6 years ago. So he would have been 14
Right.
thereabouts, 13,
14. Yeah.
14. Yeah, when he did this show. And he's been in things such as Mobius from last year, from 2025. He's been in Detective Chinatown from 2024. He's also been in he was in Eternal Love of Dream as a guest role from
Mhm.
2020. But he's been acting since 2016, which is, he was very much a child actor.
Right.
So he's been in quite a few things in support roles and whatnot. I feel like, obviously, I have seen him because I saw Eternal Love of Dream, but I did not remember him. So he must have been like
Mhm.
a lot younger or something.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot younger because he must have recorded Eternal Love of Dream and then pretty much recorded The Bad Kids fairly close together because they were released in the same year. But yeah.
Right.
Uh and then as for the other kid male lead, we have Shi Peng Yuan, who plays Yan Liang. He is also 20. These
Yeah.
kids, these kids, man. Like you're expecting them to be very, very young because they're playing very young. But he has been in the game a lot less time because it seems like his first I mean, he's been in movies since 2014, but as for dramas, The Bad Kids was his first drama, but he was
Mhm.
also in things such as Meet Yourself, The Long Season, A Life for a Life. So yeah, he is fairly like all of these kids are quite talented, and I'm sure we will touch on it as soon as we start talking about this show. And then the other kid is Wang Shang-di, who plays Poo, and she is only 15. Now, she is 15 this year. Well, she's 16 in
Right.
2026. She was born in 2010.
Right.
2010. Um, so she was 9 years old when she.
9, 10 years
No,
old when she made this. Yeah.
my
Mhm.
God, that is wild. Like, I knew she was young. I
Yeah.
didn't know she was this young when
Mhm.
she did this. That is crazy. That's crazy
Crazy.
to me.
Yeah.
So she's actually been in The Bad Kids was also her first show. that she did. As movies wise, so she's been acting since 2020. She was also in Mr. Honesty, A Murderous Affair in Horizon Tower, which is
Mm-hmm.
probably where I kind of remember her vaguely from. She was also in The Mutations from 2023 and Vanish to Name from 2026 most recently. So let's actually just touch on these actors in general. Now, none of them were necessarily new to me personally, but they weren't people that I kind of recognized straight away, mainly because they've done like support roles or guest roles in other shows that I have watched, and they're not, you know, people that I kind of had in mind, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I absolutely adored watching the performance of all four of these, actors and actresses. They were
Right.
just incredible to me. But what was your experience? Because this is a rewatch for you. So what was your experience with
Yeah.
these actors? Had you watched them before or not? So,
So with Chin Hao, I had seen him before extensively. He's one of my
mm-hmm,
favorite uh Chinese actors. I've seen him since 2017.
mm-hmm,
He was in Burning Ice, which is a very classic crime C drama at this point.
yeah,
He was also in Tomb of the Sea, as you said, which is a Lost Tomb series role. Um,
mm-hmm,
and so I've seen him in a couple dramas before, The Bad Kids, and then he is known for his crime drama roles. I mean, that is what he's very
mm-hmm,
much known for. But he's also one of those actors who is like, I wouldn't say he's an idol actor. He definitely has done idol roles, like
yeah,
Story or Song of Glory is definitely an idol drama, but
mm-hmm,
he is known for being a little more eccentric when it comes to his roles that he picks. And he can be selective because he's so good. He has that
mm-hmm,
prestige behind him. He's considered a veteran actor, especially with his movies as well. Um, so I loved him. I mean, he was the reason why I watched this in the first place.
mm-hmm.
Um, because it was for me, one, he had not done a drama in a couple years. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
one. And two, this was his first villain role that I had ever experienced.
Mm-hmm,
So I was curious what he was going to do with this role. Um, and yeah, so I've seen many of his works, and I have many that I still plan to watch. There's many crime dramas he's done in the last recent years I have not watched yet, but including the long season. So he was the reason why I clicked play on this in the first place. In terms of the kids, overall, I this was my first experience with them throughout.
mm-hmm,
And but beyond this, I definitely have seen them in other things. Because as I said, this was a rewatch. So I watched this as it aired in 2020.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So for example, the Shi Peng Yuan, the older of the kids,
Mhm.
I've seen every drama he's done since The Bad Kids.
Oh, okay.
Except for yeah, everyone because all of his other ones aren't out yet. So he has done 3 since The Bad Kids, and I've seen everyone.
All of them,
Due
yeah,
to
yeah.
you, because one of them was Meet Yourself, and I never would have watched Meet Yourself, but he,
He's
yeah.
very
So I love
talented.
him, very talented. I love him, and then Rongshi Xuan, I've seen him here and there, like um he was in Princess Agents.
Mhm.
I saw that before The Bad Kids, obviously. I don't remember who he was in that though, I will say. But I've seen since The Bad Kids, Detective Chinatown season 2. I've seen him do Lost in Shadows. I want to watch. That's another IGE crime show. Mobius, of course, we watched. So I've seen him in a couple things as well. And then with the girl, again, it's the same thing. I've seen like Murderous Affair in Horizon Tower, and then The Mutations, which is not good, but she was enjoyable in that.
Yeah.
And then of course I have a couple others that I want to watch, like Vanish Name, for example, that I have not watched.
Mhm.
So I have kind of paid attention to all of the kids since the bad kids, but I have really followed Shi Peng Guan. Like I love him from this role.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah. He was very, very talented in this. I mean, all of them were very talented. Um, but yeah, and he's taking a very, very interesting career
hmm
um situation because he's done um a lot of crime shows and things
yeah.
like that.
He kind
And
of reminds me of Jackson Lee. Yee? Jackson
yes,
Yee?
Yi. Yeah, Jackson
Jackson Yee.
Yi. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of I kind of parallel him with Jackson Yee a lot,
Hmm, hmm,
and like his
hmm.
drama choices.
Yeah. It's going to be quite interesting because he's got an upcoming show with Xiao Zhan as the male lead, and he's
Right.
tagged as being a main lead in that as well. So I would definitely be intrigued to check it out just to see. I mean, I like Xiao Zhan, but I also, have come to really enjoy um this kid actor who no longer is a kid because he's 20 years old now. So
Right.
so yeah.
Right.
So that is really the main cast. I mean, we have other characters, a lot of veteran actors and actresses in this. The cast is really stacked. Actors like Wang Jing Trun and Liu Lin, who is a fabulous, fabulous actress. She is someone that I tend to very, very much enjoy whenever she's in, dramas, and I tend to sort of, recognize her pretty much straight away from the things she's been in. So,
hmm
really quite a stacked cast for
For sure.
this story. So that is all of the info on the show. Let's do non-spoiler um thoughts, and I don't think we'll be able to really give that much away in non-spoiler thoughts because again it is a crime show. You want to go in as blind as possible. Now,
Right.
this was my first time watching it, and for me personally, yeah, I had very high expectations going into this. I will say, just because everybody who has watched it and a lot of people who watch crime dramas says it's really good. So I had fairly high expectations for it. And they were, for the most part, really, really met. Like, I ended up really enjoying this. I binged this. Literally, I finished it this morning before, we sat down to record with Jess. Literally, like an hour before we sat down for that recording, I finished this. And I had like, I don't know, 8 episodes left. So I binged it the whole of this morning to get it finished. And this thing had me on the edge of my seat every single episode. And
hmm
like my heart in my hands, because I was like, are these kids going to make it? Are these kids
Right.
going to survive? And like constantly that every single episode. But then it's broken up with these moments, these very innocent, childlike moments between them where they're just playing games or they're just hanging out at the beach. But behind all of them, there's like this very sad kind of story, um, personal story about them. So for example, for Yan Liang and for Popo, they both come from a welfare house and, they are orphans in essence. And that story was pretty heartbreaking. And, the story that kind of starts it all off is that they kind of run away from the welfare house and they come back to this town because Popo's brother, who has been adopted out of the system, is really sick. And she is like, I need to raise this money. And Yan Liang be having taken her like almost under his wing. He's like, I'm going to help you. I'm going to go back to my hometown and kind of like figure out a way to raise this money for this treatment. And so it starts off very innocent, but you're also like, how heartbreaking is it that these kids have this like immense pressure on their shoulders to kind of like have to figure these things out that shouldn't be on their shoulders at all. So
Right.
that's kind of like where you're starting off. And then we have Chao Yang, who used to be friends with Yan Liang, and that's how they kind of connect again. But you have Chao Yang, who is very much, he's a very high achiever, top of the class, but he's very lonely. This kid is
Yeah.
very lonely, and I don't even think he realizes how lonely he is. His parents are separated. His mother works away from home, so a lot of the time he's on his own, just studying, and he's incredibly lonely. His father has kind of like remarried and has a new child and a new wife, and he feels very much left out of that
Right.
situation. So the kids' stories, even where you start, you're already like, my goodness, they're all suffering in their own kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I loved watching this. I really, really did. There's a couple of nitpicks that I have. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but they are quite minor. But I do have like a couple of little nitpicks, but I can't really get into them until the spoiler situation. But I feel like the pacing of this was incredibly well done. And like I said, because they broke up those episodes in that manner where we did have some episodes that were 35 minutes and some episodes that, were 50 minutes, because they broke the episodes at the point where the episode, like, to leave it almost like on a little cliffhanger for the next episode. And that
Right.
works so well for a crime drama because it gives you that like
Mm-hmm.
bingeability of it.
Right.
And although I was fearful for all of the kids, I was like, I just need to, watch the next episode. It's a very bingeable show. Um because I don't think it's, how do I put this? It's not necessarily a hard watch, right? In terms of,
Right.
you're not dealing with, I don't know, child abuse or anything like that, if that makes sense. So you're not dealing with, there is a murderer, but you're not, do you know what I mean? You're not dealing with sexual harassment or stuff like that. You're not dealing
Right.
with very
Right.
heavy topics, even though there
Yeah.
is a murderer on the loose. So you have that, but you're not, so it's not as hard of a watch as other shows that I've watched
Right.
in this genre. So it makes it where I can very much binge it, if
Right.
that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chin Hao was great as an actor. Like I
Mm-hmm.
bought him. Right, he had like his face just. Oh my goodness, it was the complete right expression to what I expect him to be, because it's like this switch would happen in him where he would go from
Right.
this supposedly very loving husband to this almost like I gotta do what I gotta do type of situation. Uh,
Right.
so yeah, that's kind of like my first thoughts. I don't think I can really say anything else without giving anything away. What are
Right.
your sort of thoughts on this, Caitlin?
Yeah, I mean, this is a rewatch for me, so I kind of I enjoyed the rewatch because I knew what was coming, but I also have forgotten some things because it has been
Mm-hmm.
6 years. So I was like, oh yeah, that happened, or oh yeah, I forgot that happened. Um, so it's still very enjoyable. The cliffhangers, as you said, are fantastically placed. I probably should see some flaws in this, but I really don't. but but it's like, but there is a reason why this is so like put on a pedestal and every other Chinese crime drama is compared to it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for the ones coming out after 2020.
Yeah.
There's some that have come out before this that are definitely classics and definitely have nostalgia and probably can, if you put this up against others before 2020, it could work. But there is a reason why this one is compared to a lot of the more modern ones coming
Hmm.
out. Um, and in my opinion, rightfully so. Like it
Yeah,
is one of
yeah,
the best Chinese crime dramas I've ever seen. So
yeah. Hmm. Right. With that being said, let's rate this and then we can get into spoilers because I feel like that's where things get more interesting. So, the
yeah,
rating categories works as one teacup. I watched it somehow. Not good, but something kept me going. And that's a 1.5 to a 5.5 on MDL. Two teacups, just okay. Fine as a background watch, but not really one I'd really recommend. And that's a 6 to a 7 on MDL. Three teacups, the enjoyable ones, a solid drama I'd recommend to fans of the genre. And that's a 7.5 to an 8 on MDL. Four teacups, the loved ones, not perfect, but a really enjoyable drama I'd happily recommend. And that's an 8.5 to a 9.5 on MDL. And then you have the five teacups. These are the rose tinted glasses territory. Flaws? What flaws? I love it so much, I'm ignoring the flaws. And that's a 10 on MDL. Now, for me, this is like a 4.5. It's almost a 5, but it
right.
just misses it just for a little bit. And I'll explain
Hmm.
why. I think yeah, I can't explain why now. But
Right, right.
I'll
Yeah.
have to explain it
We'll
in
get
the
into it.
spoiler
Yeah.
territory. Yeah, in the spoiler territory. But it's like it's a solid 4.5 for me. Like it's
Right.
almost a 5, but not quite. What about I think I know what Caitlin's gonna say, but
Yeah.
what is
It's
your
definitely a
rating for
5.
this?
Definitely a 5.
I
Yeah.
feel like this is the first 5 you've ever given on a tea and soju review.
Right. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that might be a little nostalgia thing, but in 2020 I gave this a 5. Like I gave this a
Hmm.
10 out of 10. So, um yeah. Yeah.
So it still stands up to
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, on a rewatch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Because like with crime dramas, it's always a little bit harder to see if they're going to stand that test of
Right.
time or not, simply because you
Right.
know what's coming, right? You're not
Yeah.
beheld to the twists and turns because you know exactly when the twists and turns are going to happen and you know where it's going to end up. So it's always a little
Right.
bit difficult for a crime drama, I suppose, to kind of really hold up, if that makes sense. So
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
that
Or
is
at
good
least
to
hold
know.
up with the same excitement as if you're watching it for the first time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So that is the ratings. We are now going to be moving on to spoiler territory. This is your spoiler warning. If you've watched the drama, then please go ahead and keep listening. But if you have not, then please pause the episode, go and watch the drama, and then come back and finish listening to our episode review for The Bad Kids. But this is your spoiler warning. So, on the other side of spoilers, let me get straight into it because
Hmm.
I said, and I'm going to go right for episode 1, because
Hmm.
I said, my God, what a way to start because
Yep. Yep.
he's pushing his,
In-laws.
uh in-laws off a mountain. And I'm like, what
Right.
just happened? Like I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, immediately I was like, I'm locked in. Because
Yeah.
how the heck did
And
we get
imagine
here?
imagine watching this when it aired and that is the first scene you see.
That's
I was
wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely like you do not expect that happening within the first 5 minutes of the drama for sure.
Because it's like it's straight away you see the male lead, so the Dong Chong literally pushing his in-laws off a mountain. And I'm like, how?
Right.
And then I go straight to, how did we get here? Is he just a serial killer? What is happening? Like, what is happening? Because up to that point, he seems very kind to them, very, like, nice. And then the next minute, he's pushing them off a mountain. And I'm like, what happened?
Right.
What happened? So
Right.
I was just like, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I need to figure out what happens. And also, what I really, really appreciated and loved about episode one is that we start the episode with Dong Chong, pushing his in-laws off the mountain, and then we finish the episode with the video that the kids captured of him pushing his in-laws
Yeah.
off the mountain. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like you get the setup very quickly and you get to see the same thing, but from two different sides and from two different
Right.
angles. And I'm like, this
Hmm.
is great because you're starting the episode where you're finishing the episode, if that makes sense. But in the between, you get the whole infill of what these characters are doing here, what is happening here, you know. And that
Right.
really, really locked me in pretty much straight away. I was like, I am, in. I'm in straight away.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um so yeah, I really, really, really loved that aspect of how the show opened. And then the other thing that really added to it was that obviously in episode two, we then get to see the fallout start to happen of
Right.
everything that kind of falls into place. And one of those things is Dongshang just basically acting like he didn't kill his wife's parents and
Right.
being like, I love you, I'm here for you. And I'm like, that is a
Hmm.
psycho right there. Cause it's like,
Right.
that was wild to me. And he did such a good job there. Yeah,
Checking
yeah,
it
yeah.
out. Yeah.
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 Because on one hand, he's at the station, like, I don't even know what happened. They stepped back and one foot slipped and the other tried to catch one the other and blah, blah, blah. I was just taking a picture. And then fully knowing, and obviously he was like crying during this and whatever, whatever. And then he, uh, fully knowing he had just killed them like an hour before, 2 hours
Mhm,
before.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, it was very well done for sure. For sure.
Yeah, yeah. I am going to jump a little bit ahead to
Okay.
to me what was one of the most shocking things of this show. And that was in episode 5, so we're not jumping too farther ahead. Um but that was when Chow Yang's little sister dies.
Hmm.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god. What
Right.
what is happening?" Because all
Right.
of a sudden these kids have gone, so they obviously figure out that they have this video. They're watching back the video and they're like, "Oh my god, we have the video of somebody murdering somebody else." So they figure it out, and instead of going to the police, which is what they should have done, they're like, "Well, we can blackmail him to get the
Right.
money for
For this surgery.
Popo's brother's surgery." So I'm like, these kids have some, courage on them. Either that or it's that fearless that really only comes with being very young, right?
Right.
So they're going to do that. But in those episodes, so that has kind of started to happen. They're trying to figure out who the guy is in the video, and they figure it out because they've sort of Popo saw his car, they were climbing at the same time, so they figure all of that out. And I'm like, mind you, at the same time they're running from the police because they're supposed to be at the welfare center. So
Mm.
a lot is happening. A lot is happening. And then you kind of get to see Chow Yang, his father's picking him up, and you get to see his, what was happening, and you get to see that he is not very well received within his father's new family's, so his
Right.
new wife and his little sister, half sister. And that sister, look, that kid was an absolute brat,
Yeah.
spoiled
Yeah.
brat.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not saying she deserved to die, but she was an absolute brat.
Right.
Um, and what happens is she is quite bad to Chow Yang, and Popo sees how
Hmm.
upset he is and kind of goes to confront this kid to stop bullying Chow Yang. And then she falls out of a window and dies. And I was like, oh
Right.
my God. I almost thought, oh, maybe she's going to fall down the stairs and get really injured or whatever it may be, right? That's what I thought. And for a second, I was like, did Chow Yang push her out of that window?
Yeah.
Um, I want
Yeah.
to know what your reaction was watching it live. If, you had that same thought or what was happening, in your mind about that.
So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely written in a way where you debate that for, especially with the last scene shown
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
in the entire drama, because when you first see it, you're like, no, obviously not. Like, obviously she just fell. But then
Yeah.
in the last scene, you're like, did he push her? Did he not push her? Like, you're left with that question. I will say the novel is completely different
Oh,
than
is
the
it?
drama. Oh
See,
my God. So many differences with the novel
because
than the
I'm just
drama.
gonna, we can get to that for sure, but because for me personally, it's like, what was happening? Um, because even towards the end, right? Even right at the end, when they're all coming clean, and then Popo sends Chow Yang that letter, she kind of
Mhm.
says, I never told anybody what happened that day, and I'll keep it a
Right.
secret. So it's almost like
Right.
hinting at,
So the hint at
did
the end
he?
of the scene, yeah, the hint at the end of the drama is he didn't necessarily push her, but he
Mm-hmm.
didn't save her either. Like she was
Okay.
dangling off that
Yeah.
ledge.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
she
yeah.
had caught herself on that ledge, but he
Yeah.
didn't rush over to try and save her either.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
technically, at the end of that scene, at the end of the drama, you're like,
Is
technically
it?
he did, kind of,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
wasn't the cause. The book
No.
is completely different. Like
Oh, please do tell. Is
the
he
book,
actually the killer in the book?
oh, he actually killed her in the book. Like the kids are so much worse in the book, which is why the Bad Kids title makes so much sense when you deal with when you find out what they were actually like in the book. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they left, it's so much more, their backstories in the book are so much more horrific than what
Yeah.
the drama portrays, because I don't think they could have portrayed it that way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
first off, the kids are just horrible in the book. Like, he actively murders his sister, he pushes her out the window.
Okay.
Um, and the Young Long's parents, the reason why he ends up in the book, the reason why he ended up in the orphanage is because his parents murdered somebody, like murdered a
Okay.
female like college student, and his
Oh.
mom was like the ruse to lure her as his victim, the husband killed her, like, so they didn't just his dad didn't just end up in the madhouse, like he was a
Mm.
murderer.
Yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
and they died in the book. They were not alive
Mm, mm-hmm.
when this
Mm-hmm.
happened. And I think I read somewhere that it actually, that entire scenario was based off of a real crime that happened in China,
Oh.
if I'm not mistaken. Um, so completely different backstory for him.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they left the orphanage was not to have in the book was nothing to do with a surgery, nothing to do with this. Popo was actually sexually assaulted and they
Oh,
left the
okay.
orphanage that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why they left. Popo's family, She ended up in the orphanage because her father allegedly murdered her mom and her entire family. And so
Jeez.
she was in the orphanage because her father was in prison.
Yeah.
Um, and apparently is like crazy in the book. Like she has multiple personalities in the book,
Oh my God.
apparently, due to like trauma and everything. Um, and then you kind of saw this in the thing. He like Chao Yang, he was lonely, he had no friends. In the book, they added on bullying to that. So he was a victim of bullying
Mm-hmm.
in the book. Um, Mainly a target for this one specific person who constantly was just bugging him and beating him
Yeah.
up and everything. Um, so I can't remember what the character's name is. What is that name? Chao Yan. What is his name? Zhao. Did they change his name? Was that Chin Hao?
Who?
No, no, no. So yeah, okay, okay. So we'll get so Chao Yang was bullied, and the reason why he he still had divorced parents, still had that whole sister dynamic thing,
Mm-hmm.
but he clearly from the drama, also in the book, he did not have a lot of love received
No.
from his parents
Mm-hmm.
due to various circumstances. So he also was a horrible kid in this. I mean, he murdered his sister. Um,
That's
like in
interesting.
the
Yeah,
book,
yeah,
he
yeah.
literally pushed her out the window. Like it wasn't in the book, it wasn't like did he not? Like he literally killed his sister.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. This
and
is
then
very
the other
different
big
from the
change,
show.
yeah, the other big change is you know how in with Chin Hao's character here, and I kind of agree even with the rewatch, you kind of feel some empathy toward his character on motives of
Yeah,
why he did it, especially
yeah,
with his in-laws, because he was beaten down with them compared to everybody, very low self-esteem.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Completely different reason on why he killed his in-laws in the book. He did it for money in the book. So
See,
in the book, you literally have no sympathy for his
for
character
him.
at all
Yeah,
on
yeah.
why he killed his parents and then killing everybody else along that. Um, so the book set up, and then also the older cop, the one who took Yongling under his wing, the old guy, the
Yeah.
retired
So,
cop.
Lao Chen,
Yeah, he did not exist in the book at all.
oh, and I liked him.
So yeah, I
I
liked him too.
really liked his character.
Yeah. Yeah, so the kids were insane in the book. And so they definitely changed that entire narrative
They
and
definitely soften
everything.
everyone up
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
everything a lot.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
in in the show for sure, for sure. What
Right.
are some things that you liked in the show, Caitlin?
Um I did love the cliffhangers. I thought they did very well. And I
Yeah,
loved also with the cliffhangers, you thought like when you thought something was done, you thought like Chin Hao was going to be the only person, only bad guy, only villain in this. And then it just comes crashing down as the drama continues. I loved watching this for the first time. You cannot guess where this story is going to go. Like,
no,
you cannot guess who's going to end up alive or dead by the end of the drama, which is why it's, as you said, like you were afraid if these kids were going to end up dead by the end of
dead.
this drama,
Yeah.
because there was a very real reality that that could be the case by the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I love the fact that you really could not predict where this was going, other than knowing that Chin Hao was a killer in the first episode, in the first scene.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
Um,
only thing you knew. I will
yeah,
say, I want to touch on something that to me was quite interesting and quite fascinating on how this show kind of done it. So basically, we obviously have this relationship formed in terms of Dong Chang, who is Chin Hao's character, so the killer,
Mhm.
obviously is getting blackmailed by these three kids. Now, the way they go about it, they are fairly smart. They don't really all meet him at the same time. So somebody always stays behind with with the evidence and stuff. So, they kind of cover their bases. They were really quite clever for kids, right?
Mhm.
So I found that quite fascinating. Now, what I found really, really, really fascinating was the fact that they then need help by the end of it. And
Right.
Dong Chong is actually helping them. And I was like, this
Right.
is quite interesting because so after Chow Yang's sister dies, his stepmom is like Chow Yang killed her, Chow Yang killed her. So Chow
Right.
Yang is going through this whole situation and, getting through all of this and um a couple of episodes later, in walks in his stepmother's brother, who is very
Mhm.
much a mafia person. Let's put it that way. Not
Right.
mafia, but he has very
Right.
bad dealings. He's not a good person. And nobody listens to so Wang Yao, who is, his Chao Young's stepmom. And she's like, no, this happened, she's dead, it was him. So he starts going after this kid, right? And, all of a sudden they're in a situation where they're in quite deep crap, aren't they? Because they have somebody
Mhm.
who has no morals whatsoever and they have no leverage over this second killer other than he wants to kill them.
Right.
Um,
Right.
So that was quite an interesting that then all of a sudden Dong Chang is actually kind of helping them trying
Right.
to, get away from this. And then all of a sudden, episode 10, 11, 12, all hell breaks loose. All
Yeah.
hell breaks loose. And you think for a second they have the money, they're going to run away, and they're sorted. Chow Yang's going back to his life. And then all of a sudden, this guy shows up, and Mr. Chen is in the hospital dying. And it's like, whoa, whoa, this
Yeah.
just ramped up very quickly. Um, so yeah, what was your thoughts on like their almost this reversal of going from killer blackmailers to almost this hesitant um what's the word I'm looking for, this hesitant um partnership of sorts where they're
Yeah.
trying to help. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, yeah, you definitely don't see it coming. But again, I think it adds to the sympathetic humanity part of Chin Hao's character. Like he is a teacher. He
Mhm.
is around kids all the time. And so the fact that even though he can be this brutal killer who just is killing everybody in the show, he still has these soft spots for kids. Like
Mhm.
for like
Mhm.
you can kind of tell he doesn't necessarily, at least in the show, doesn't want to kill the kids. Like
No.
he actively is trying to avoid that.
Yeah.
He's just pushed into a corner at some point where he can't avoid it anymore. Um, and so like when Popo had like the asthma attack, he
Mhm.
was like, "Where's your medicine? Where's like he was freaking out."
He
Um,
was.
because on one hand, he doesn't want another dead body linked to him. But on the other hand, I think he actively really cared for the fact that she was gonna die.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so I think it was interesting to me because it gave more of a 360 view of the character versus just a person who is just killing for 12 episodes and
Yeah.
is very cold and very uh calculative in his, because he isn't, he's doing it out of other than the first murder, he's doing it out of necessity for the
Out of
rest.
desperation. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
everything
And his
spins
wife. Yeah.
out. Everything spins out
Yeah.
from this one thing. So
Yeah.
he murders, the kids catch
Right.
it, and then everything spirals out from that one event because they
Right.
have to keep making choices, and then these choices get worse and worse and worse, and kind of like everything just, you know. And then they're trying
Yeah.
to cover their tracks, and while trying to cover their tracks, they make even worse choices. So it's a very interesting, you know, um what's the word I'm looking for? A very interesting um line, like plot line to sort of follow through of
Hmm.
them having to deal with the consequences of their own actions. That's ultimately
Right.
what it is, isn't it? And actually you get to the end, and Chow Yang's father is dead. Chow Yang's stepmother is dead. And
Yeah.
her,
Now, even the deaths were changed. Even the deaths were changed in the
oh,
drama.
were they?
Yeah,
Okay.
because of the kids were so horrible, especially Chow Young.
Mhm.
So first off, they changed the entire name of Yang Lung's character.
Okay.
So in the book, he is known as Ding Hao. That's his name in the book.
Mhm.
So everybody who dies in the show died in the novel, but they died in the novel in a completely different way in some
Okay.
cases.
Mhm.
So, for example, Chow Young basically killed Lan Young, Po, and Dongsheng in the book.
Oh my God, my
Yeah,
face. Guys, if you're
yeah,
watching this, my face says it all.
yeah. So basically, he killed his dad and killed Popo and Yanglung in the book. Because when the three kids were at the Chin Hao's apartment for the first time,
Mhm.
Chin Hao gave them poison drinks.
Oh, okay.
Um, Chao Yang knew this was going to happen and didn't say anything. So he literally just watched his two friends die in this house,
Oh my
knowing full
goodness.
fledged that Chin Hao was going to give
Was
them
doing that.
poison drinks. Yeah. So basically, that's what happened with Popo. She didn't die of an asthma attack. She died from poisoning from Chin Hao's cup.
But
Uh,
wait, see, this is my question. Before you go any further, this is
mhm,
my question. And this is why this is a 9.5 over it being a 10 for me. It's lots of
right.
little things. Is Dongshang's wife alive? I don't know. I can't
No,
figure out. He
no,
killed
she's
her,
not.
right?
He killed her. Yeah, he killed
But
her.
the show doesn't necessarily show that. It kind of
He re-
leaves it.
no, he replaced her medicine in the trunk with
Well,
poison.
yeah, yeah, but you don't actually see her dying or anything like that. You just see her drive away, and that's it. That's the last you kind of
Like,
see of
no,
her.
you see her floating in. She died while she was swimming in the morning.
Yeah, but you'd seen her float before, right? Like, you'd seen
Well,
her. So she's
I
dead,
can't
dead.
remember. She's dead. So what happened was he replaced. She took daily medicine right in the morning.
Yeah, I
She would
got that
take
part.
it. She
Yeah.
would take it every time before she took a swim in the ocean.
Mm-hmm,
So she
mm-hmm,
would
mm-hmm.
drive to the ocean, that dock. She would take the medicine. She'd go for a swim.
Yeah.
He randomly put a poison pill in that container. And
Mm-hmm.
so he knew eventually she was going to
She would
take that,
die.
go
Yeah.
for a swim, and die. And so you have a scene, and I can't remember, it might have been an after credit scene, if I'm not mistaken. But you have a
Oh.
scene where they literally find her on the beach, like she's dead on the beach in her yellow swimsuit.
Wait, there's after credit scenes?
I don't think it's every episode, but I know there's at least two episodes with after credit scenes.
See, that might answer some of my questions because I have skip, beginning and
Yeah,
end
yeah,
credits, so it skips it.
yeah. Yeah.
to the next episode, because I was like, oh my goodness, I had the same experience going from episode 8 to episode 9. Because I was like,
Hmm.
I literally clicked back to episode 8 and I was like, did I watch this? Wait, did I finish this episode? Because episode 9 starts on a very different situation. And I was like, wait, am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? So that
Right.
might be why. So that was one of my things with it, was like, well, yeah, he did change the medicine, but we don't really know if she's dead or not. And we don't really
Yeah.
know kind of what happened to her. And then the other thing was, we got to the end and I don't understand what happened to Popo, because it's like, is she dead or is she alive?
Hmm.
Because in the show, because he then reads that letter, and I'm guessing that letter came after. So I'm like, I feel like she's alive, but I don't know if she's alive. Because, like, she wasn't in that warehouse, right? She was at the hospital.
Right.
So I was like, that was where my confusion. I wish that had just been a bit further fleshed out. Just like, a 1 minute scene where you kind of see what
Hmm.
happened. Is she alive? Is she
So
dead?
in the drama, it's kind of ambiguous because
Mm,
I think it had to do with censorship. I
okay.
think it was like, I think they, in order to get this drama passed, I think they had to kind of leave it ambiguous because
Mm-hmm.
in the book she dies, she's dead, and it's not even in the way that the drama seems to think it's going to be, because in the drama you think, oh, she might have died from an asthma attack.
Yeah.
In the book she was murdered. So I think due to censorship, I don't think they could have revealed that. I think that was the
Yeah.
reason why it was left ambiguous. So you could either take it where she has an asthma attack and she dies,
Mm-hmm.
or she has an asthma attack, got saved, and she's alive in the
Yeah,
hospital
yeah, yeah, yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a censorship decision.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was very ambiguous. And then also, I don't
Mhm.
understand. I was very confused at the one of the very, very last scenes, which is Chao Yang is standing at assembly at school, and Yan Liang, not in uniform, walks in, looks at him. They kind of share this, and then he goes away. And I'm like, what was, like, I don't quite understand what happened there. That was like one of my other, queries at the end. I was like, I wish they could have had one last conversation or whatever was happening, because I don't understand why. Do they just want to keep their distance from each other? Do they not want to be like, I was a little bit confused by that, like, interaction, I think.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that was kind of, it was kind of I think it was up for interpretation. I interpreted it at the time where, before I knew what actually happened in the novel,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
interpreted it was just kind of like, cool, we're both checking in on each other, we're both doing well, you live your life, I live mine, our relationship has kind of ended, right?
Yeah.
But we're saying
Yeah.
goodbye. It was like a one last goodbye thing. But again,
Yeah.
because of how horrible his ending was in the book, Yang
Mm.
Lang's ending, they couldn't do that in the drama. So I think, again, I think it was kind of like a censorship thing, because you could also interpret it as he's dead. He died
Yeah,
and
at
he's
one
visiting
point, that's
him
what
as a
I
ghost.
thought.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. But then I was like, well,
Yeah.
surely not, because then he goes to meet Lao Chen, and then he's having
Right.
a conversation with Lao Chen, and Lao Chen's like, yeah, I'll take you,
Yeah.
you gotta go to
But
school and stuff like that.
with that, right? So he comes into this assembly, right? It's all light. He kind of walks in, says it, walks
Right?
out, right? On top of that, in the book, the officer, the old officer, retired officer, doesn't exist, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So he comes to this courtyard, he whistles to get his attention. Why does nobody else around the guy hear it except for the officer? So the
Yeah.
implication in that is they're both dead. They both don't exist on the plane. So he's dancing with his wife dead.
Oh my
Like,
God. Yeah.
that's the
Yeah, I get where
implication.
you're
That's the
coming from.
interpretation. Granted, I did not have any of this like these thoughts until I found out what happened in the novel, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is
See,
not something
because
you would get unless you know the background of how horrific the novel is with like the
mm-hmm,
background of these
mm-hmm.
kids. Um,
I'm
because half the people are dead by the end of the novel.
look, I'm gonna choose peace and my own Delulu, and I'm gonna be like, they're
Mhm.
all fine.
Right.
They're all fine.
Right. Yeah.
Like Yang is living his best life under Lao Chen, being
Yeah.
his guardian. He's going to school. Popo is back somewhere,
Alive with her brother.
alive with her brother, and Chao Yang is, topping the scores.
Being
That's what
school.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
choose to believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's
So
what I'm gonna
getting back
choose to believe.
getting back to the deaths in the novel though. So okay, so Chao Yang basically just allows his friends to die in the novel at the killer's
Hmm.
house. Uh so he also kills his father. His father dies due to him getting revenge for the second family. So he writes, you know, that diary that he was constantly writing in for the entire
Yes.
summer thing?
Yes.
He literally just wrote that diary in the novel to create evidence to put all of these deaths on other people.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah,
the
yeah.
police apparently in the book found this after all of these deaths had occurred, and Chao Yang walks off scot free because he wrote this diary for the entire summer.
Mm.
And kind
Mm-hmm.
of um so after the incident at the amusement park with the whole recording device that he finds
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
father's purse, and then
Mm-hmm.
um in the book the mother was right, the daughter, like his stepmother, was right in knowing that thinking that he
He
actually killed
killed
his
his
sister, because in
sister.
the book
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
did. He decides to, like, he has no choice apparently than to get rid of them, right? So
My God.
he uh his father and the stepmother, along with like Popo and Yulong, are all poisoned
Yeah.
and die. He the killer guy, Chin Hao's killer in the book, buries all of them,
Yeah.
and Chao Yang then goes to great lengths, apparently, in the book to reveal their bodies and then pin everything on Chin Hao's character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then apparently in the book, he's doing all of this because he wants an inheritance from his father. It's a money motive, apparently, in the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and then Chin Hao also intended to kill Chao Yang, the kid, the same way that
Mm-hmm.
he did with Popo and Yulong, but Chao Yang knows about it and spit it out, and then stabs Chin Hao's character to death.
Jeez.
And then he pins the murder of Chin Hao's character on Yanlong's character. So we kind of see that play out a little bit on the boat at the end, but it never
Mm-hmm.
happened on the boat. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
literally, Chao Yang killed all these people
My God.
and
That is a
pins it on everybody
wild
in the novel.
story. It's
Right.
so
Yeah.
different. That is wild. That is,
Right.
yeah, that is wild
Yeah.
in the novel then.
And there's no way, yeah, if they had done this like novel, there's no way this would have passed censorship,
Oh
because
no.
there's
No.
it's
The
so
violence
dark,
would
and
just
just
be
having,
too much and it's
yeah.
very, very
Well, and the
dark.
fact that it's
Yeah.
a 14-year-old doing all of it. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. My God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
I don't think I really have anything else left to say. I will say I did really like when they run to the boat and get like Chow Yang and whatnot, and then Mr. Chen pulls Yan Liang out of the water, and like Yan Liang just
Hmm.
kind of like looks at him and goes, "Mr. Chen, I didn't become a bad person." And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of
Right.
like heartbreaking, but it's a
Right.
perfect, you know, encompass to what the show is." But yeah, I really liked it. Like I said, I just had those minor sort of questions that felt a little bit like
Hmm.
loose threads for me.
Right.
But overall, the acting is really good in this. The story just goes to places that I'm not expecting it to go. So it's a really solid crime drama, I think.
Yeah.
Have you got anything you want to sort of mention about this, Caitlin?
I also think the like going back on like the cliffhanger parts of this and like you don't really know the whole bringing in the brother. Like the stepmother already you dislike because she's just hounding Chow Yang of like he definitely killed my daughter, blah
Yeah,
blah
yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah blah. And then her bringing her brother into the play, and you're like, this kid already has problems with Chin Hao's character, and then you bring in this mafia brother, who obviously took it way too far, even than what the stepmother wanted him to do.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's like already he already has one the kids already have Chin Hao after them, and then now
Mm-hmm.
it's like this
Somebody
this
else.
other one, yeah. But
Yeah.
knowing with the tropes too, you also think one of the like you either think the retired cop's gonna die or the father cop, the guy who has the daughter in the same classroom as Chow Young. Trope wise, you think one of them's gonna die by the end
Oh
of this,
yeah, you're
which
like
they didn't.
somebody's gonna go. Surely
Yeah,
somebody's gonna go. Um,
right. Yeah.
but yeah, I just liked the drama as a whole.
Hmm.
I just think it's a really solid
It's very
crime
solid.
drama for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think I really have anything else to sort of say. Have you got any? Are we done? I think we're done.
Yeah.
Um,
I
go
think we
watch
talked
it.
about everything. Yeah, go
Well,
watch it for sure.
I mean, if you're listening to this, surely you would have watched it because you wouldn't want to get spoiled, or at least I hope
Right.
that's the case.
Right.
Um, because you definitely, the best thing to do is to go in completely
Blind.
blind because I feel like it
Yeah.
definitely adds a lot going in completely blind. So,
Yeah.
Caitlin, thank you so much for joining me to review The Bad Kids. Where can people find you?
You can find me wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, No Sleep for the number 4 dramas. And then I'm on Instagram, TikTok with that same name. So come and find me.
Yeah. I will make sure to link all of those in the episode notes. And that's it for today's episode of Tea and Soju. Thanks for hanging out with us as always. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, happy watching. Bye.
Bye.